Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
Bees to many represent a nuisance. To Ancel Goolsbey, bees represent life.
Bees are essential. I don't know how this world would raise enough food to feed the population without bees. It would be almost impossible.
As far back as he can remember, honeybees have been very special to him.
My dad had bees before I was born, so I was raised with it. And I worked with him ever since I was able to nail up a frame. I can remember when I used to pull myself up by my fingers to look in the extractor. That's about as far back as I can actually remember the bees. And my dad used to extract the honey in the kitchen, and my mother, she just about threw us all out, but we got the job done, and those were pioneer days, you might say, back 1920, 21, 22.
Most of the hives were sold when Ancel's father, Louis, obtained a contract to cook in the logging camps while Ancel was still in high school. With 16 colonies left over from the original sale, Ancel juggled his main vocation as a tin shop apprentice on weekdays and Saturdays with beekeeping on Sundays.
I took care of the bees, and I got me a really big honey crop that year. And I doubled the number of bees to 32, and I don't remember exactly how much honey I got, but it was quite a bit. And I took that honey and I canned it out, which we put it in tin cans in those days, and I went around from door to door and I peddled it. And I got a good price for it.
After figuring out that he could make more money with the bees by just working Sundays, he decided to stick to the bees.
And from those 16 hives, why I worked on up then to at one time I had 1,200 hives.
Today, Ancel works with bees that are originally from European stock that have had the meanness bred out of them through time.
Now the bees in those days were not as gentle as the bees we have now. They were a lot ornerier, and I got stung up a lot. I know some days I'd count 100 stings or so, because the bees were just more like the killer bee. But since then, we bred that all out of them, and we have some real gentle bees today. It was pretty rough going into the bee business for a kid to take all those stings, but the old dollar stands out.
Nylon coveralls worn in the apiary protect a beekeeper from bee stings. The tight weave of the nylon helps block body odors from permeating and arousing the bees. Smoke also helps fade out the body odor by neutralizing it. At the first whiff, bees instinctively start gobbling up honey, a response that many believe goes back to ancestral hoarding as a method of surviving forest fires. When bees are busy, they aren't inclined to sting. When they do,
on the end of the stinger is a little sac, and a honeybee, when he stings you, he leaves that little sac behind. It's like a little hypodermic needle, and that keeps pulsating and squirts the poison and keeps squirting the poison in your arm or wherever you're being stung. The stinger you want to scrape out with your fingernail or a knife or something, because if you squeeze that sac, pinching it out, you squeeze all that poison in, and this is one of the things that you don't want to do.
For some, bees strike an element of fear due to allergic reactions to the bee venom. And for most of those, it can be deadly.
No, I have never been allergic to them, but my wife is. And it seems like this happens a lot with beekeepers. Their wives become allergic and to it, and the doctors tell us that this is transmitted in the sperm of the couple. So you see this a lot in beekeepers' wives. But this allergy thing in bee stings is a very serious matter, and it should not be taken very lightly. I know of at least 3 beekeepers, their wives have died from bee stings. The local swelling is not a sign of being having an allergy to bees. It's when you swell up around the throat and cuts off your wind and your heartbeat is where your allergy comes in, your dangerous allergy.
Bee venom is purported to be medicinal in nature. Known to help treat various forms of arthritis, pure bee venom is used to treat people allergic to bee stings.
It does something for you. It makes you feel better when it's all over, when the hurt's, when the hurt's gone. Feels good when it quits hurting, let's put it that way.
Ancel visits the hives once every 2 weeks, and during the swarming season, every week. By examination, he can determine if the bees are doing their part in keeping the hives productive and thriving.
The principle of beekeeping, or the art of beekeeping, I should say, is to build up a hive. You see, a bee only lives 42 days after it emerges from the cell. The queen lays about 1,500 eggs a day. She'll lay her weight in eggs every day. In 21 days, we'll be emerging into bees. The young bee takes care of the hive, the old bees go out and gather the honey, and so forth.
When collecting the honey, the cones are placed in a machine that extracts it with centrifugal force.
They have been known to get 450 pounds from a hive of bees. I think in the Guinness Book of Records, why it's up there close to 500. But normally, in a big outfit, a production outfit, why, if you get 100 pounds to hive, you're doing real good. And that is an average. And most beekeepers, I think the state average is something around 56 pounds per year.
Having taught over 1,000 people how to keep bees, Ancel's always happy and eager to help anyone with their bee problems.
It's fascinating. You never learn it all. There's always something to learn. Every year I keep a log book on what I do and what I do wrong. You know, later on you find out, well, you shouldn't have done that. And I put that down, so next year I can read that and I can correct my mistakes. And it's a challenge. I can sit and watch a hive of bees for an hour. The bees have been good to me. I'll always have some. As long as I can walk and get around and take care of them. I know one fella that they had to wheel him out, and I saw him wheel him out in a wheelchair to look at his bees. He was that fascinated with them. And he was an old-time beekeeper. It gets in your blood, I guess.
If you have a topic for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington, 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.